Did you want to come and take a closer look at the screen with me?
Not really.
Why is it that you wouldn't like to see that sort of stuff?
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
It's really horrific.
Absolutely. Now, the important question to ask ourselves is, if it's not good enough for our eyes, why is it good enough for our stomach, right? If something's so horrific that we can't even bear to watch it, do you think it makes sense that we'd be funding it on a daily basis? No. It would be hypocrisy, right? To buy something that's so horrific we can't even bear to look at it. Yeah.
It's true. We all just see what we want to see, don't we? Or we don't, or not see what we want to see.
Absolutely, yeah. Now this is all because we're a vegan group. This is all that veganism is. It's not making a massive change to who you are. It's simply living in lines with the principles you already have. You think this is disturbing, right?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't make sense for you to fund something that you thought was disturbing and wrong. No. I think obviously I see that you're uncomfortable looking at that stuff. If you think that that's not nice to look at, do you think it makes sense to pay for that stuff?
I personally know it doesn't happen in the countryside that I live in. And I only shop locally, I don't shop commercial like big supermarkets.
What are you saying here that doesn't happen? Can you point to a bit you're saying doesn't happen on the screen in where you work?
Small, compact living spaces, that doesn't happen in the countryside.
So what we're showing here, this is just this is like the big countries that you saw a moment ago. That was a big open farm with a dairy calf being taken away from his mum. That's pretty standard, isn't it?
I can't argue with you because I'll go too into it. That's not true.
Sexual violation with a metal rod, they don't do that, they don't. So how do they do it?
They let nature take its course, but I live in a completely different area to this. So.
But and then what happens to all those animals once they're no longer producing a profitable amount of milk?
Well, yes, they do with the market.
Yeah, 100%. Look, what we're saying is there's no nice way of doing this. Ultimately, all those animals are going to end up with a knife in their throat or in a gas chamber. Doesn't matter if it's like a nice, happy, sunshine rainbow farm or whether it's one of these like factory farm hellholes. But everyone's funding this anyway. I know you say you live in the countryside, but when you're going into a supermarket, when you're going into anywhere, you know, it's pretty unavoidable. If you're buying animal products, you just will be funding this and worse, what we're showing on the screen. And we're not even showing the worst case examples. This is like the creme de la creme. This is like RSPCA approved slaughter. That's a calf being stunned there with a stun gun. So this is what they call humane slaughter. You know, this is high welfare stuff we're showing. Are you vegan yet, or have you?
I'm not vegan.
I've been veggie since I was 15,
Okay.
so that's a long time.
Yeah. And what has it that's made you say, do you know what, I'm not going to just make that switch yet to go vegan and cut out dairy and eggs and stuff as well, which obviously we're showing?
I mean, I probably will at some point, actually.
Yeah.
And I don't drink milk, I hate
Very much. Conversation with somebody at work today. I don't like to put myself in a box and say I'm vegan, I'm vegetarian, I'm a meat eater, because that makes it feel a bit uncomfortable. I don't know.
What do you think of the footage?
Pretty gruesome.
Yeah, 100%. Do you think that we need to fund that stuff in this day and age, or would you say we have alternatives?
I don't know what the alternatives are.
So anything that you like, whatever your favourite meal is, we've got a vegan version of that meal. So what we're saying to people is, why put animals through this horrendous suffering if we've got all the other options available?
I mean, there's no doubt, as you say, if people were showing this in the likes of schools and high schools, then there wouldn't be many people I don't think they would choose to.
People might think different, mightn't they?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. But this is the thing. If it's so humane what these industries are doing, it would be the industries showing it, not the activists who are showing it.
To show that it was
exactly
done humanely.
Exactly. Yeah. On that subject, so see that on the left, that's free range eggs. So those male chicks have been shredded because they don't lay eggs. So we're here to say there's no nice way of doing these things. There's simply, you know, these labels they put on the products, they're marketing terms, they're cute little terms to help you sleep better at night. They don't mean anything. Organic, high welfare, free range. You know, at the end of the day, an innocent being is going to be macerated or gassed or have a knife in their throat. And for what? What would you say, folks, is the reason we eat animals, we wear animals? Why do we do it?
A lot of it's just how you've always done, isn't it? It's how it's always been, how you've been brought up. You
Yeah.
get to question anything, do you?
I personally can't argue with you today.
There's no argument to be made for funding it, is there? You would say you're against animal abuse, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Ultimately, if you're against animal abuse, it would be hypocritical to buy these products, right?
Yeah, no, I know. I totally get it, and I kind of feel like I'm working my way, because I do still eat meat, and I am working my way to... I don't feel like I should have to justify myself either.
Would you both say that you're against animal abuse?
Everyone's against animal.
Right. But there's a contradiction there in our society, isn't there? Because like you said, everyone says they're against animal abuse. But then do you think there is a way to fund meat, dairy, eggs, so on, without causing animal abuse?
Yeah, I worked on a dairy farm. We didn't abuse any animals.
Yeah. But don't you think our definition of abuse changes dependent on the species arbitrarily? Like, see the little puppy there? Have you seen the really cute little puppy they're holding? If I was to shoot her in the head with a bolt gun and slit her throat, that would be abuse, right? So there's 4 reasons I'd say, or 4 excuses, right? Habit, tradition, convenience, taste. That's it. We don't kill these animals for survival. We don't kill them in self-defense. We pick on these innocent animals who would never harm us just because we like the way that they taste, or we like, you know, a fashion statement to wear on ourselves. And we've got all the alternatives today, folks. Why are we still doing this to, I think it's 2.7 trillion sentient beings every single year?
In terms of the money, and people say that a lot of the veganism, the vegan products, yes, there's much more choice now and there's a lot more available in the supermarket. You've got whole sections dedicated to vegan, but is it not expensive to become a vegan?
It's not at all. In fact, most vegans are actually like quite low earners. I think where that argument comes from, the idea of people focusing on the trendy replacement products. They look at like Beyond Burgers, or they go into Whole Foods and they see all this stuff.
Because there's a big market, isn't there?
Yeah.
For all these things now.
But if you look at the most impoverished societies worldwide, look at what they're eating in the slums in Delhi. Rice, lentils, noodles, spuds, bread.
And what about the argument of getting enough vitamins and enough iron and all that side of it? Do you supplement? Do you supplement yourself? Do you have vitamins and supplements?
I do take a supplement, but here's the thing, I think every single person should, because pretty much everyone in the West is nutrient deficient in some way. The UK government scientists even recommended years ago, everyone in this country needs to be taking a vitamin D supplement, especially if you have darker skin, because we're not getting enough sunlight and skin. The B12 that you guys get from animal products, that's supplemented anyway. They actually inject farmed animals with B12, or they put B12 supplement into their feed, because the soil in this country is depleted of B12 now. So everyone either is supplementing or needs to take supplements anyway. It's simply not an issue. I mean, here's the thing, what we're showing today on these screens, we're not showing anything that would be considered extreme or illegal by these industries. This is your standard high welfare, standard practice. This is your free range, organic, grass-fed, all this kind of nonsense that you're seeing on the screen. These labels they put on the product, they're there to make you as the consumer feel better. But ultimately, you know,
Absolutely right.
But all those animals, they're going to go into a gas chamber, or they're going to have a knife in their throat.
Totally.
So I think you know deep down it is wrong, right? Yeah. So if I can change, anyone can change. I was the least vegan person in the world, but I came across the arguments and I can't argue with them. Why was I still supporting that?
Right now it's not my time.
They've just been bred in order to be able to do so.
Yeah, but does that make it right though? Just because, like, I mean, I could have bred that puppy there to have that done to them, and this is what would have happened to those cows on the dairy farm you worked at. They'd have all gone off to the slaughter. What we're saying is this is abuse. So, well, all males will obviously, because they don't produce milk, they'll be slaughtered. But then the females, once they've...
Yeah, but we didn't have male cows on the site.
Yes, because you have to send them off to slaughter. So when a male calf is born, but then where would they go?
Well, some go out to stud them.
Yes, but even those at the end of, like, ultimately farming is a business. They're gonna make one last profit off their body by selling them all off to slaughter.
Yeah. Well, because it's recycled, isn't it?
But you know, even their very existence, you could call abusive. We're using these animals as resources. We're taking their milk from them, taking their babies from them. We're impregnating them with iron rods. I'll give you a card with some links on it, folks, and you might be able to find, but there's some stuff. So take that, go to that website, 3movies.wtf, just type in that code. There's documentaries you can watch, there's resources, there's like recipes and stuff. Anything that you want on there can help you make the switch. And you know, I can tell, speaking to you guys today, that you do think this is pretty messed up. Yeah.
And you always know, it's like you say, unless you're forced to watch it, you always know.
It's not all like that.
It's not all like that.
Some animals are.
Do you think there is such thing as humane slaughter?
well, certainly more humane than there must be a degree of humaneness. It's not right, whatever you do, but there must be a degree of humaneness, surely.
But so what we're doing here today, we're showing these are like RSPCA assured standard practices that we're showing. You said a moment ago you don't need to justify yourself to anyone. That's true. The only person you need to justify it to is to yourself. But we have to live in line with our own moral system. If we say that this is bad, if we say that this is wrong, we have to say to ourselves, why am I still funding this?
Yeah, no, and I totally agree. I'm not into challenge that one single bit.
The change starts with you, obviously, folks. You know, if you think it's bad, but you know, the point I wanted to make, sir, is, you know, there's no such thing as humane slaughter because there's no nice way to kill someone who doesn't want to die. So none of these animals want to die, and what we're showing there anyway, that's the creme de la creme. Chicks being macerated, bolt to the head, throat slit, this is standard humane certified UK practices. And I mean, surely this should be classed as abuse, no?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah?
You know, see leather trainers being worn.
No, sir, no, we don't allow animal products at our demos, so anything, this is another thing, anything...
Or rubber, you know, you got rubber which has probably got some form of animal in it.
I don't think the rubber has, no.
Jeans,
yeah,
all part of the animal stuff. So
no, the cotton isn't. Cotton's from a plant. But you're trying to catch us out now.
I think I have.
You haven't caught us out.
These are very Nike trainers.
No, look, we're not.
Nike use kids in sweatshops in. You know,
yeah, look.
Stages. So you know, granted, animal farming is to an extent. Some places are awful.
Yeah, look, we're under no illusion that we're perfect in any way. We're not here to talk to people and say, like, you know, we cause no harm. You know, any vegan who says they cause no harm or that they're perfect is obviously delusional. But when you go vegan, what you do is you massively minimise the amount of harm and suffering you cause on this planet. We know that any product you buy, there's going to be some form of harm that results from that. But going into a shop and buying a bacon which results in pigs being herded into gas chambers as gas fills up their lungs, and this is the down industry here with the birds being live plucked. You know, these are things that are totally practically avoidable. We do not need to fund these things in any way.
We are more veggie than not.
Yeah.
So yeah, not vegan, definitely more veggie.
Okay, I shall have a look.
Thank you for stopping, folks. Have a good one.